Welcome to Nicstalgia, your favorite pop culture podcast, where we have deep conversations about superficial things. I'm Nicole, your host, and each week we unlock core memories from the 90s, 2000s, and beyond while examining the past through a contemporary lens. Our guests are pop culture tastemakers who explore how our formative experiences shape how we see the world. We talk about trends, fashion, music, identity, consumer behavior, societal attitudes, and more. Nicstalgia is a reminder of how our individual and collective memories make us feel like we belong. And if you like Nicstalgia, be sure to follow, subscribe, rate, review, and share with a friend who loves pop culture as much as we do. Plus, we have a lot of fun. Enjoy the show. Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Nicstalgia. I am super excited because Kate is here with me today. She is one of those nostalgic content creators where people send me her videos constantly and are like, wait, you know this girl, right? And I think it's so funny how we are actually meeting for the first time today, yet I feel like I have known her since I don't know, maybe 2007 at least. So it's great to have you here. Welcome.
Hello, thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here. And yes, I feel like sometimes I confuse what year we are in. It's half the time is 2007, and then a little bit is 2022.
Sometimes, okay, for example, when Bennifer got back together and Avril Lavigne released a new album, something else happened simultaneously that was very relevant. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure some kind of time warp is happening because it is somehow 2022 and 2007 and 2002 all at once.
It's truly insane how much is coming back. I mean, Lindsay Lohan is coming back with movies, Paris Hilton. A lot of it comes from TikTok. All of a sudden, all these 2000 stars that we know are coming back. Christy Carlson Romano is always on my feed, Ashley Tisdale. So it really does feel especially for millennials, all our favorite stars are back. They're doing new projects, and I think we just need Mary-Kate and Ashley to return. And then that's when I know we're living in life's not real. Then that's when I know.
So are you more of a Mary-Kate or an Ashley?
Mary-Kate by default. I always, just because my name was Kate, and I remember being once my friends just called me Mary-Kate. But Mary-Kate, she was a little bit more, I feel sportier, and I feel I always gravitated towards her. How about you? Were you Mary-Kate or Ashley?
So I think that maybe now, adult, I'm probably more Mary-Kate, but as a kid, I was such an Ashley, and there's actually a home video of me. We had gone to see Disney on Ice, and they give you those little light up sticks. It's not called a stick, a light up, a lightsaber kind of thing that has Minnie Mouse's head on it. And I need to find batteries to put in it so the light would work. And so there's a home video of me trying to get the batteries for this. My mom's like, Nicole, can you go get batteries for this? And I'm literally like, my name is Ashley. And I kept saying, my name is Ashley. She's like, okay, Ashley, go get the batteries for this.
You really committed. You really went for it.
I was method acting from a very young age. I was cosplaying as Ashley Olsen.
That's amazing. From time to time, their hair, I think about sometimes cutting my hair and being going for the full out Mary-Kate and Ashley shoulder length look. I still love 2000s hairstyles. I just love all that. So but yes, they are talking when you said aesthetic, they are my aesthetic. I would love to be them.
Yeah, your hair in your videos is so versatile because you can do the poof, you can do it the pin straightener, and even so what reminded me of this is the Olsen twins in I think it was the Two of a Kind era where they did kind of that wave, and it was such a very distinct look. And then I think paired with the fashion of the time too, it it takes you right there.
Yep. Yes. No, and it's so funny. I still have like my Conair crimper from like 8th grade. I'm still using my straightener. Literally, everyone knows the cheese straightener from like '09 era at Ulta Beauty that would like go on sale during Christmas. I still use that. That thing is still working. Sometimes I'm like, I need to like upgrade this because I feel like the plates are probably better now. Like they've learned like a less damaging way to straighten your hair, but like this thing is still going. Like the cord's a little like damaged. Like there's some parts like don't touch it. It might shock you. But like I can't let go of some things. I'm pretty sure my hair waves right now is from I was waving it yesterday for a video with the crimper.
I'm shocked that the chi still works for you because the chi and the naked, or in my preference, the naked 2 eyeshadow palette, like that was the duo.
I'm laughing because everyone in college had that. Literally
Mm-hmm.
everybody had the naked palette. Like
Mm-hmm.
that was I still use the naked palette, but there was one specific. You said naked too.
Yep.
That like everyone had.
Naked 2 was my entire personality for at least 3 years. Even though I only used maybe 4 of the eyeshadows, and
Yep.
then the rest of the palette just went to complete waste.
I feel like I think I'm still trying to learn makeup. TikTok has a lot to do with like me evolving because I don't really know what I'm doing when I put it on still, but anyway, I still use the same basics that I used in college.
It's very interesting because I find that my makeup, I always feel like in the moment people are like, "Oh, I like your makeup," or "Oh, it's an acceptable way of wearing makeup that never looks outdated." But I'm glad because as I look at old pictures, for example, in the 2000s, so I remember trying, now I love liquid eyeliner, and sometimes I'll go through, eyeliner or no eyeliner phases. But for the most part, when I was younger and like getting ready for a middle school dance was the first time I tried putting on liquid eyeliner, it got all in my eye. And I was like, this is just simply not going to work for me. And because of that, liquid liner at that time, at least for children, was not super popular unless you were going to a major event like a middle school dance. But when people would line the bottom of their eyes and then sometimes put it actually in your eye with the eyeliner
Oh yeah.
crayon. And then that after the liquid incident, I'm like, I can't put anything on my eyes like that. So when I look back and see people that wore like the super dark eyeliner underneath their eye that looks very, very specific to the 2000s, I don't have those pictures that like aged super badly. So I'm actually very grateful for that.
I would say like I remember all the popular girls always did the bottom liner. Like that was
Mm-hmm.
their thing. My mom, I really wasn't like introduced to makeup in middle school. Like I as in like I don't know, I just my parent I'm not like they didn't let me wear it, but my mom wanted me to be like you don't need it yet. And so but I remember all the girls always lined their bottom eyeliner with they had like very ice like white like it's like a crayon. I forgot what it was. But like I don't know, it was like a white eyeliner almost, or like icy blue eyeliner. It was just always this distinct pop of color. I had one question. When you said that you had school dances in middle school era, like did you have a lock-in? Do you know what that is?
So we did not have a lock-in. I would say the closest thing I had to that was like the night after or the night of high school graduation. We had, I can't remember what it was called, but I think the equivalent of a lock-in.
Okay.
Um, but it wasn't, but that was like a special one-time thing. That was a collection of part of the, senior week kind of events.
Yeah.
But yeah, is that a thing that you feel like people haven't heard of really?
No, every time I talk to somebody who I'm like, oh, we used to do lock-ins where like you would just go to your school, they would quote lock the doors, and then you just be there for a couple hours. There'd be like the cafeteria would turn to a dance room, the gym would have like a bounce house, which was like the weirdest like thing, and then you would just mingle. Like you would just go around your halls and just mingle. And I remember being like and I was extremely awkward in middle school, as in like I was too afraid to talk to boys. I had like my one little small group of like friends, and we would just literally just like hide in the bathroom. Hide. Like that was just me and my friends would just too scared to talk to guys. And so that truly was how I was in middle school, just so awkward.
That's funny. At middle school dances, it's funny because where they were held was I went to like the largest elementary school in our town, so that school was actually bigger than two of the middle schools, so we would have the middle school dance in my old elementary school's gym. And yeah, it was funny because in, I guess, my personal life, I grew up dancing. I loved being on stage. I was always super outgoing. But then at middle school dances, I felt like, okay, yeah, I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't really want to dance with anybody. And, you know, the person you want to go to the dance or the person you want to ask you to dance, they don't go. And I'm
Hmm.
like, okay, so tonight's a wash. And
Yep.
my mom would make me wear this gray, silvery windbreaker with a black and white stripe down the side over, you know, whatever kind. Actually, I still have one in my middle school. I really don't have practically anything, any clothes, whatever. But there's one pink tank top with like the ruching in the middle, which I've always
Yes.
been obsessed with. She would make me put the jacket on over that, and then when you get inside, you throw your jacket in a
Yeah.
like 20-foot pile of jackets on the bleachers. And every month I'd be like, I hope this gets lost. I hope someone takes it so then I don't have to wear it again. No, it never got
That's
lost.
so funny. Oh my God. Windbreakers too. Like
Hmm.
always had a windbreaker and also the tank. Actually it's kind of crazy. Someone DM'd me the other day. Abercrombie is bringing back lace tanks. I don't know if you saw that
Oh,
yet.
I just filmed a short video about that because I think the only thing that's missing is two lace camis.
Yeah.
To make a statement officially on the vintage aspect, I went to fashion school and they told us that anything over 20 years is vintage. So sorry to break it to everybody, but that's a trend cycle. And once something comes back for another version of itself, that's vintage. It's not antique. Antique is when it's like 50,
Okay.
100 years old. But vintage, it's like, you know what? I'm okay with being vintage now. I really don't ever feel old. I feel like people can enjoy whatever they want to enjoy, whatever. But with the camis, you would wear two. They would be of complementary colors, something like that. You wouldn't just wear one.
No, no, not at all. Like I remember also wearing like three polos, like legit three polos. Like from Hollister, there was a Sweet 16 episode. I don't know, like this is super specific, but her name was Sophie. I don't know if you remember Sophie's Sweet 16, but she had these two polos on. And I'm being like, ugh, I need that. So I wore, but everyone, like my school was wearing three at one point. Like three tight polos. Like, why? I have, with the pop collar, of course. Like, but yes, and also camis, absolutely. Gap had this era where it was like I don't know, they were just like tank tops. Like you had to have one in every color, and everybody was just layering like these Old Navy and Gap tank tops, and it was there had no lace on them though. It was just like these. It was such, and that was like an obsession at my school. Like everyone had every color, and yeah,
Yeah, I remember there were racerback tanks that were really popular. And
yes, that was it.
so, yeah, so the racerback is think of, you know, if someone doesn't know it by the name, it's basically like a sports bra. And they would have like a built in bra sometimes too, which when you're a preteen or a young teenager, it's helpful because you're like, oh, I can't have my bra strap showing. So then we're literally wearing strapless bras in third grade. I remember I had to go in the bathroom and change out of it because I'm like, I can't make it through the day like this in pain.
Yeah. Wait, are you saying because of like the pads and stuff, or like the
Just
wait?
like the sheer effort it takes for an 8-year-old to hold up a strapless bra for an entire day
Oh,
of
I'm so
school.
sorry. Strapless bra.
Mm.
Oh my God. Yes. Sorry. I wasn't envisioning that, but now that you said that, oh my God,
Mhm.
there would be no chance I could wear anything strapless. I was the one with like the clear straps from Victoria's Secret with everything I wore.
Wow,
Everything.
that unlocked a memory. Clear straps were a thing. We thought they looked really good.
Oh, that was, I thought I was the hottest thing. It was actually like people, went out of their way to wear clear straps. Also, people went out of their way to make sure every single strap of theirs was shown, that your bra strap was showing, your two tanks was showing, like, and that was just like, I would say that like it's tough because my parents really would. It's not like they were like controlling or whatever, but like they're just like, you're not gonna go out with like your bra strap showing. Like we're gonna like you're gonna put that together, but like all the girls in high school had all their straps showing. It was just those are some things. That's the crazy thing is those are just some memories like you do not forget. Like what other people wore that you didn't have, or just like how specific, like what the cool girls were wearing, and like I was just the nice girl. So I was never like I always wanted to have all my straps showing.
I didn't see myself as somebody who was popular or this or that because I wasn't in that clique. But seeing how you make an impact on people and then being aware of it now is like, it's definitely a weird phenomenon.
Okay, now that you said that, I swear that I brought the leggings underneath the jean skirt to my high school. I don't know, maybe like someone would listen to this and be like, "No, she didn't." But no, I used to work at Abercrombie in high school, and I feel like that was like cutting edge for like fashion trends, and the leggings underneath that did like that went down to your ankle with like a little lace at the bottom. We'd put them underneath our jean skirt, and I remember it being like the dead of winter here in Chicago. It was so cold, so I went to school with my boots. I would take them off, put them in my locker. And mindful, this is like January time. Put them in my locker, take out flops, put them on, and walk around high school in mid-January with flip-flops. This whole look. I'm not sure if the flip-flops caught on, but after that though, like everybody was putting like the leggings underneath the jean skirts, but also like how brave of me to try this look. Like what was I thinking?
Okay,
Like
I'm so glad you mentioned that because I think that's ultimately why the universe brought us together, because we invented leggings under denim skirts, because
yes.
I also claim that I invented it at my high school because I got sent to the principal's office. They're like, your skirt is too short. I'm like, but there's literally pants underneath it. They're like, nope, doesn't matter, because it was up to us to shift the paradigm at our high schools and show people what was possible. And unfortunately, I had to, go through that experience in order to open the door for other people to wear leggings as pants underneath their skirts.
But that's truly wild that you were sent down to the principal's office with like, but your pants underneath. Like that's insane. Like people, I was a cheerleader in high school, and on game days we'd have to wear our uniform. So, but the cool thing was to put like leggings underneath, like flared leggings under. You know what? I got attacked on TikTok for this. We call them yoga pants, not leggings, right?
Yeah,
I forgot.
they're called yoga pants. Yeah.
I think I said flared leggings, and I will never say that again. So excuse me. It's yoga pants. We used to wear yoga pants. I got confused for 1 second, and I made sure to never make that mistake again. So we wore yoga pants underneath our cheer uniforms, but girls would like roll our cheer skirts up. So they were like super short, but you'd have the yoga pants underneath. It was just like the weirdest things that we did, but like that was like a sexy look. Like what?
It truly was. I was a cheerleader too. We would do the same thing because you would always be cold. And so you would wear yoga pants underneath. And then in the spring or summer, you would wear a denim skirt with leggings and flip-flops. And then in the winter, do that, but with Ugg boots. You had to have the North Face jacket with it. And then with cheerleading, you had to have the yoga pants. But then also during practice, you had to have the Soffe shorts and roll them as many times as possible.
Yeah. And girls went hard. They were maybe you could get like 4 rolls out of it. They were so short. And
Yeah.
then they always said something on the back, it said like cheer, like Wildcats. We had shorts like we made a senior year that had 2 like paw prints on the butt. And I'm just like, those were our senior year shorts they were selling. I was like, how did that ever get approved? How was that
Yeah.
sold? And it said seniors '09 on the front. And I'm like, what? Like I wanted them then, but like now. Wait, did you have powder puff?
Yes, we did. My house number, I lived in two houses growing up, and the house number was 73 on both of them. And so I wanted number 73 in Powder Puff. And luckily I got it because everyone was like, I want to be 7. I want to be 3. I want to be 17. Like
Yep.
the number 17, I don't know who the number seventeen's publicist was, but
Stop.
it got some good press. Like the number 17, everyone wanted to be the number 17. So I got to be 73. I didn't have a large role seeing as I was not good. Like I can dance, I can do any of that stuff, but when it came to playing anything close to football, I was not selected to be like one of the front row center people.
Got it. Okay. I didn't know that was like a thing that was like also at other schools as well. We had it, but they said, I remember like them warning us, being like, if you go, you're going to get in trouble. So I didn't go. When I tell you, I was like so afraid of getting in trouble in high school. Like I was so like just doing everything to not get in trouble. So I didn't go, but I was just looking at my friend still has all her Facebook albums up. I just went on her Facebook the other day and I'm like, what? Like you have not hit any of these all the way back to like 2008. Like our bikini, like there was like a bikini party in high school. I'm like, wait. You need to take that down. Like, but she had it. I remember seeing like Powder Puff, and I was like, oh my god, you know what? Good for you for saving all these. But I was like, but it did bring back a feeling of like I remember being upset that I wasn't there. I felt like I was missing out on something. But again, it's just crazy how those feelings are like they come back to you like it was like yesterday, but like that's what 10, 11 years ago, more. It's actually more than that. We'll say 10.
Yeah, I graduated high school in 2008. And so this upcoming year, so 2023 will be 15 years. And it's like, excuse me? That's crazy.
Oh my God. So then so I was '09 because we were like '09 so fine.
Mm-hmm. You had to have a phrase. I think feeling great '08, like something like,
Yep.
I don't know if that's what it was, but it was like
Yeah.
you had to. And then the '07 people were like 007. Like you had to have
Yep.
some kind of theme, some kind of class slogan.
I wonder if the kids this year, are doing, I don't know, like feeling like Taylor Swift's like feeling 22 or something. I don't know. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
about you. I'm feeling 22. I don't know. If I would do that if I was graduating this year.
Yeah, I was 22 when 22 Taylor Swift came out. Because she's like, she was born in '89, so she's a few months older than me. And being born in a year that ends in 0 is the only way I remember how old I am and was at any given moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was 22 when that song came out. And I'm like, sorry, guys. Like, you guys have to deal with not being 22 when 22 came out. Like, that's something that call me. Usually on TikTok, people don't call me old or anything. Not saying it's never happened, but it's like, you know, I'm okay knowing that if you make fun of my age, you're making fun of Taylor Swift, and you have to live with those consequences.
That is absolutely true.
Something that I wanted to talk about with you that I think is super important, and something else that truly brings us together, is the limited to shopping experience. I saw one of your videos recently that made me laugh so hard, and it was when you were trying something on in the dressing room, and then your mom just walks away. And it's like, Mom, why would you ever do that? This is when I really need you to tell me whether you approve of this outfit or not.
That was such a thing. And I want to give credit that somebody DM'd me that idea like a while ago. And so I want to give credit. Like that was, if I remember screaming when I read the message, I was like, oh my God, every mom did that. And it's just wild. Like they would just walk away. And then like everybody has like the same experience of like popping their head out of the fitting room or having to go like walk around in the store's clothes. And like you feel like you're stealing, but just trying to find your mom. And then, I would get so frustrated. My mom just like, stay here. Like Like it just stay here, like please. And I shopped at the Gap a lot growing up, so I remember just being in those fitting rooms, just like trying to find my mom too. I was like, oh, but yes, that was such a real thing, and I love that everybody has a story too.
I remember too, my Grammy, we would go to Limited Too a lot to the point where she like knew the girl who worked there. And even if we had, I forget what they were called, $2, something like those coupons. Do you remember what they were called?
Yeah, no, but I do like remember what you're talking about.
Yeah, and the girl would let my Grammy use it even after it expired, just because we had that kind of relationship with the people who worked there. And I just love that store so much. It brings me so much
Yeah.
joy. And I still have a picture of me and my sister from the Limited Too photo booth, and the theme. You know how when you're in a photo booth, you
Hmm.
pick a little theme? It was like the cheerleading theme, which tracks.
Oh my God, they were like the CEO of Cheer stuff. Like, like it's like a little microphone and the text that said like, or like their font, it's Cheer, or like, but then when you get specific, like the shorts, the number like Hoop, Angel, Cheer, like it was just soccer. And I was, remember like everybody had the straps on their, like the shirts that like cinched at the top and it was like held by like a strap. It was like the sporty look.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. I remember like that. I used to like love those shirts. They're my muscle tees.
Yes. I had a lot of windbreakers from them too.
Hmm.
Every, I would say from, maybe fourth grade until seventh grade, I guess, would be peak time for me, where every school picture, it had to be something Limited Too. Every look was something different. And right, if I was the dance girly, my sister was the soccer girly, and there was truly something for everyone.
Yes, there was. That store was really magical. Even the way they set it up, like it was just like always a fun experience. And that was the time, like the mall era, where you would just hang out at the mall. Like that was an experience. Like now I feel like all I do is like online shop, but like there was something magical about like going to that store. It was so cute the way it was set up, and all their clothes were just like perfect. And yeah, I remember ours was like very close to like Libby Lou, and then there also was Delia's. It just had everything. So I miss that time.
You have done videos about hit clips, which we love.
Yes.
Did you buy hit clips? Did you buy, they had CDs. I remember seeing not Dream Street, O Town CD there. And that was like music discovery when you were a 10-year-old.
Oh yeah. We lived very close to Toys R Us growing up, so when we visited my grandma, she would give us like $10, and then we'd be on top of the world. We would go to Toys R Us and then get hit clips. And my mom, I thank God for my mom because she's saved so much, and we just have so many hit clips, and they also work. But I also had the alarm clock, the hit clip alarm clock that would like rotate every day, and it would wake you up with like the hit clip sound. So there was that. But then things got really fancy when they turned the hit clip into like the earbud. You had like the one
Hmm.
little earbud. So, but it was crazy. It's like 60 seconds of a song, but you would just, it was the best thing.
I really love that. And I love the making mixed, well, not tapes. No, I think I had a tape player in my first car actually, but making mixed CDs.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that was like our singles culture, because back then you still had to go buy an entire album. You couldn't just listen to one song by a particular artist unless it was released at, or I guess unless it was, now that's what I call music.
Oh my God. Yes. That, and they're still going, but like they are still going, but that was such a good time.
I want to play a game with you. Okay.
Mhm.
So we're recording this around back to school time. So I am going to list some of your most iconic looks, some pieces that people will recognize, and you tell me how you would incorporate it into a back to school outfit.
Okay, like modern day?
Oh,
Or,
no,
oh,
these are all going to be very
oh,
2000s things.
got it. Okay, got it. Got it.
You know what? They actually came out, by they, I don't know what publication. Somebody came out with an article being like, this is what people are wearing back to school in 2022. And someone said that a college look was a corset and leather pants. And it's like, wait, seriously? Because I was wearing a graphic tee from Delia's and Hollister skinny jeans that were cuffed at the bottom, but cuffed up not in a cute way, in a like, or not even in like a I'm from Connecticut way, but like cuffed 5 inches because I'm so short and all of the pants were so long. And with like a kitten heel or like a slingback mule, and that was like the coolest back to school outfit.
That truly was. And I even, Hollister was always like, I feel like you had to be tall to wear it because I was always cuffing the bottom too. Oh, or like pinning a pinning. It was just, oh God.
If it rained, forget about it. The bottoms of your pants were soaked and you walked around in soaked jeans all day.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I'm there with you.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, building your back to school outfit. First item, North Face jacket.
Okay, so with the North Face jacket, I would definitely have to pair it with a Hollister lace tank underneath. I'd pair it then with a mini skirt. But then to balance out the mini skirt, I would wear tall Uggs and probably roll them over once. Even if it was summer, even if it was fall, I'm still rocking the Uggs on an 80-degree day. I would then also, to finish the look, pair it with an Abercrombie tote bag and then shove all my things in it. And why I did not have a backpack, it just wasn't cool. And I want to be specific about the North Face. It had to be a colorful one because the black and gray ones were always too expensive, but the colorful ones were always on sale. So I feel like that's the only reason why I had a colorful one. And my hair would just be in one poof.
That's incredible. I love, you really painted a picture here. And with the Uggs, I think that Uggs were the original pumpkin spice lattes. Like now on August 31st, everybody goes and gets a pumpkin spice latte. But back then, it was like you slipped on the Ugg boots and you're like, it's fall. Maybe it's the end of summer. It's whatever I want it to be. And I like the claiming of that energy.
Last year, the short Uggs were the big thing. Like, I think Hailey Bieber started wearing the short. All the celebrities were wearing the short Uggs. I'm like, like, no, they've actually never gone away. I've worn them year after year, also living here in Chicago, and it is so cold. And, like, Uggs are the only thing that will just, like, keep me warm. So they're going to be back out September 1st, tomorrow. They're going to be back out.
Yes. Okay, your next look, you have a Hollister. This is inspired by something I literally wore on my first day of high school. A Hollister zip-up hoodie, which I guess we just called them zip-ups because now hoodies where there's no zipper in the middle, or even just sweatshirts with no hood, I think are popular now, whereas a zip-up that had a zipper and a hood was it then.
Oh, okay. I'm here with you. So with the zip up, I would probably have the zip up like all the way up to my neck so you can read Hollister across the sweatshirt. I'd pair it with some super low-rise jeans like that are so low. Then I'd wear it with a brown belt, and then I would pair it with some Birkenstocks. Again, should be wearing, oh, you know what? If it's fall, flip-flops. I'll be wearing it with some flip-flops, and then maybe here I put it with a JanSport bag and a puka shell necklace and have my hair up in like a bun where you like, it's like a big, like, what would you say at the top? Like a big bun at the top.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that would be it.
I love that. The whole kind of surfer look that Hollister inspired was really there. And I think that the puka shells and the flip-flops just have like this endless summer kind of vibe that you can really appreciate. And as you go back to school and maybe you got a little tan this summer, it just shows that you had a really busy season and now you're back.
It did. Definitely being in the Midwest, nothing says more surfer than puka shells like coming out of nowhere. Like, why? Like, had absolutely no business rocking puka shells here, but it's all good.
That's actually how I feel when people go to country music concerts. I feel like country music concerts were really a thing in the 2000s, and people would wear cowboy boots. And I'm like, guys, we're from Connecticut. Like, calm down with this whole look. But I guess people just had one cowboy hat and one pair of cowboy boots that you would wear with like Daisy Dukes short denim shorts, maybe with like a distressed rip. And then you would wear maybe 2 layered lace camis, and like that was the outfit.
Yeah.
It was a look.
I just went to a country music festival and I should have just done that. Like that. I should have leaned into the Jessica Simpson boots are made for walking like style next year. Someone this year said I looked like, they're like, oh, you look like Andy from Toy Story. Like a stranger, I'm not even lying, went out of their way to walk up to me to tell me that. And I'm just like, who are you? Like, what? Like, at first I thought he was joking. And then I was like, and then my friend's like, I think he's trying to flirt with you. I'm like, first of all, no, absolutely, like, not. Like, that's so weird and, like, so rude. Like, now you've go away. Like, that was just so rude. I was like, who does that?
Who does that? And quick side note, because you do have very large platforms on social media. And so I think that anybody, whether you're a creator or whether you're a consumer of content, some quick reminders. 1, don't flirt with them. Don't be mean to them and think that you're flirting. Like, we're here to, it's as a creator, like, we're here to create content. I think this was inspired by someone who was like, oh, you're gorgeous and I love your podcast. It's like, you could have just said that you loved my podcast, because I don't make this to be gorgeous to you. You know, yeah. I think that, you know, creators have to put themselves out there at the end of the day. Online, it's very easy to be anonymous. It's very easy to be mean or snarky or backhanded. And this is just my advice to people. They don't have to take it, but like, how about you don't? And if you're in person, you also have the choice of whether you want to be a jerk to someone or not. And again, I would recommend, I just feel like, how about you don't do that? Right? That would be great.
I was surprised by the face-to-face, like the insult, but it's okay. But yes, I agree. You have a choice to be a nice person. So just be it. Just be nice.
It is actually easier to just leave people alone than it is to be rude or mean or etc. So that was just my quick PSA for the day. Our next outfit that we have is, okay, I'm actually going to give you a few accessories and then you can build the outfit around that. So your accessories are a Tiffany's necklace, your pink Razor cell phone, your flip phone, and your Coach monogram wristlet.
Wow. So I'm choosing one or putting these all together?
You can put them all together. Like, what do you feel like would truly be the glue that holds all of this together?
Juicy Couture tracksuit. That's it. That's the glue to that whole entire look. If you're going to walk out with the chain necklace, the purse, and the Razor phone, you are wearing a Juicy Couture outfit. It's like the Juicy Couture outfit was just everything. And they sold it at, I forgot where they sold it. It was very hard to get. Like, I remember I wore some knockoffs for a long time. Like, I was going to Kohl's for the longest time before I finally got, like, a real Juicy Couture. Like, even for a North Face jacket, I was wearing the Columbia jacket or, like, the Stephen Barry's jacket until I finally got, like, a real North Face. Oh, what am I trying to say? So, anyways, so the Juicy Couture was, like, the it thing, especially during the Simple Life era with, like, Nicole in Paris. Like, that was just the look.
I have one more set of accessories for you. Back to school time. Okay. You have a Vera Bradley bag, a Livestrong bracelet, and a digital camera.
I feel like during that time when I was wearing Vera Bradley stuff, we were all wearing like a white t-shirt and put a tank top over it, which was such a weird look. But we did do it, and I feel like that's what I'm wearing with that outfit. Like, I thought I was looking so hot in that look, but like, so I was wearing the t-shirt, tank top over with some jeans and flip-flops, and I thought that was the look, which was so weird.
It was the look, and I did an episode about realistic 2000s fashion, so obviously we talk about the fact that we layered so many things on it, and even just looking at pictures, things that I don't know if it was because I was young and, you know, your parents want you to dress modestly, and that's why I would wear camis under things that like actually probably didn't require a second cami under a kind of like those baby doll tops that Hollister would
Yeah.
have, maybe because it was cut too low or something like that.
Mhm.
But it's very interesting looking back on those outfits and being like, this was the pinnacle. Like, this was the
Yeah.
height of fashion. I was there and
Yeah.
got to partake in such a phenomenon that is wearing and having 7 straps at the same
Yeah.
time.
Absolutely. And also, like, just looking at how we said, like, trends come, like, in 20 years, like, I wonder if, like, Gen Z will be talking about, like, the corsets they wore, like, the leather pants, or, you know, just, like, the crop tops, like, that's going to be a thing. So it's just all interesting how it all, like, what we thought was, like, the peak of fashion is, we talk about 20 years later, like, what were we thinking? So, I mean, I'm rocking that corset top right now, so we'll see if
I have a corset top too
yeah.
and leather pants.
Yeah,
So,
same.
yeah, I think it's funny. And even I talked a little while ago about how 2010s fashion or how 2010s nostalgia, what did I call it? I said why the 2010s are already back, basically. And it's so funny because, right, we're finally at the age where we're like, okay, the things that we liked as kids are back in style. But wait a second. Like, the culture of the 2010s, that is going to be looked back. And I think we saw early glimpses of this with indie sleaze and the kind of glamorization of like the Tumblr era and Lana Del Rey and all of these things where, and you've done a few of those 2010s videos too, where like you're taking a lap around the club and it's like,
Yes.
I had to heal from a lot from my 20s before being able to look back on it and laugh instead of looking back on it and either being sad or being like, that is way too cringe. But it is so interesting with the passage of time to see how perceptions kind of shift about these times.
Yeah, no, truly, and so well said.
Okay, and I have one more very random last question for you.
Yeah.
What, just because I feel like we talk about this all the time where it's like, it's partially because of the monoculture and partially just because of, I don't know, how the world was at the time, but we always talk about how no one has any individual experience. Like, we all went through so many similar things, and I think that one thing that we all enjoyed was whether it was after a cheerleading competition or a dance competition or a sports game or whatever, people would go out with their friends to the local restaurants. So what local restaurants did you go to as a teenager with your friends?
That's something I hit on a lot. I feel like that's like in my videos is like that's like my one thing I love talking about. We went everywhere. Chili's was number one, Applebee's, Dairy Queen, Buffalo Wild Wings, which was like the cool spot, Texas Roadhouse, TGI Fridays, like all those like the chainiest of chains, like we were always at. But because we didn't like, you know, we had like not a lot of money with us, like we just go to Chili's and get the bottomless chips, and that would be it, just for hours with bottomless chips and like order nothing else, which was that's just how we had to do it. How about you? Did you go to?
Chili's was number one, and Friendly's was another one. Did you have Friendly's?
No.
Okay, so I guess it was a little bit of like an Americana themed diner. It was like I guess it was like
Bacon shake?
It was a step up from Denny's for sure.
Okay. Denny's.
Yeah, but because I never liked Denny's because I'm not a big diner person, and so I don't know. Anyway, Denny's was the place people would go to at like 3 a.m, and that was not my crowd when I was young. Yeah.
That was one thing actually people used to do is go to Denny's super early for like the sunrise. Like also like IHOP was like open super late, so we'd go there like after a garage party and just get pancakes. Like and that was it.
I was a big IHOP fan actually.
Yeah.
And then one of my best friends worked at Quiznos in high school, and so she would work there after school. So every Thursday, me and my friends would meet at Quiznos. I'd get a mesquite chicken sandwich and have like 75 banana peppers, and that much Quiznos condensed into a year or two of your life. That's really intense. And the closest Cold Stone Creamery, because when Cold Stone came out, it was a complete phenomenon. The closest one was maybe like 20 or 25 minutes away. And so I think my senior year, we had like a free period at the end of the day. So we would all leave school and drive all the way out to the next town over to go to Cold Stone.
Yeah, that's been on my radar to do, like a video about that. I'm like upset. Like the Cold Stone was like the like ritzy place to go compared to like our usual Dairy Queen. But oh my God, yes, Cold Stone was like it. We actually still have one here in Chicago, and there's like always a line. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of my local ice cream place, Pralines. Shout out to Pralines. Whenever I have it, I'm like, eat, pray, love, and by pray I mean Pralines, because it is my religion, it is my life, and I always get half coffee Oreo, half mint chocolate chip, and just call it a day. Like that is nostalgia in its purest form for me. Is just like going to get ice cream from when you were a kid.
Truly. That would be, I guess, if I really wanted to do that, I would just go into Baskin Robbins to full experience it, but I haven't been able to do that yet. Not sure if I'm a Baskin Robbins girly anymore.
You know what? We got to see. I had Haagen-Dazs relatively recently because I took my Grammy to the mall, and she's like, how about some ice cream? And I'm like, I mean, I guess I'm not like totally in the mood, but it seemed like she really wanted some. So we went to Haagen-Dazs, actually at one of the two Connecticut malls that had Delia's, Danbury, and they have a giant carousel in the middle of the mall. And so I'm like, okay, it's nostalgic. It's part of the bit. So we can do Haagen-Dazs and not go on the carousel, but, you know, sit in front of the carousel, and that can be a really beautiful thing.
Love that. Was the ice cream good?
It's no pralines, but it's not bad.
Okay.
Yeah. It's no Cold Stone Creamery.
There we go. Yes. Oh my God.
That's your standard. Yeah, that's your standard for everything. If your job, if your relationship, if your friends, anything isn't Cold Stone Creamery status, don't settle.
Well said. Honestly, well said. What a great way to it's a great way, good way to start the day. Good words.
Truly, truly. Yeah. Thank you so, so much for being here. I had a great time with you and appreciate you.
I had such a blast. I get so energized, talking about all this stuff. So I'm so much fun. So thank you.
Of course. And thank you everyone for listening. This was super fun, and we will see you next time.
Bye, everyone. Peace out.
That's a wrap for this week. If you like Nicstalgia, please connect with me on social, subscribe to the Nicstalgia newsletter at nicstalgia.substack.com, and follow, rate, review on your platform of choice. Everything's linked in the show notes, including where to find more about our guest of the week. Thank you so, so much for your support. And that was this week's episode of Nicstalgia.